Hello, good YouTubers of the world. All About Nat is back with another video. So, today I'm in the mental health room. I decided I've not done for a bit, I have not done any sort of mental health chat for a good few weeks now because the fashion and the kicks and the Supreme and everything is sort of taken over a little bit. So I just thought I'd get that back on track, because I know there are a few of you who are subscribed have come here for the mental health part. So today I wanted to talk about anxiety. The main reason is because it came up yesterday with just somebody I was talking to, a very brief chat about anxiety, and not knowing if this person actually had it or not, because they didn't know really what the symptoms were. So I would encourage anybody who does think that they are suffering from anxiety to go to your GP and talk to them about it, because it's really, really important that these things get seen to. Even if it isn't anxiety, even if it's something else that crops up, just go to your GP, because I do think it's really, really, really important that these things are addressed, whether it be anxiety and you're right, it is anxiety, or if it's something else. But I still do have some of my bits of paperwork that Rethink and Sane have sent to me. Now, if you do want any of that, let me know. I still have a couple of bits left. I do have some reading material that I've kept just to refer back to, in case anybody did come to me with just a bit of confusion as to know what is going on, you know, with these thoughts or whatever. Now, the symptoms of anxiety include feelings of dread, panic, impending doom, feeling on edge or irritable. Irritable is one that I find that I do get worse when I'm feeling anxious. Heightened alertness, so that can be, I suppose, a little bit ADHD, is that the right term? I'm not entirely sure. A little bit, I suppose, you know, kind of erratic, possibly erratic. Difficulty sleeping, changes in appetite, difficulties in concentrating, and basically wanting to get away, escape from the situation they are in. And I have been in that situation. It is horrible. So if you have any of those thoughts, if you've ever had any of those thoughts, then that is anxiety. And you also might have physical symptoms as well. Now, I have had pins and needles before now, bowel movement. You know, as much as people don't want to discuss it, it's a very obvious one. You know, I'm really needing the loo and I gotta go now kind of thing. Sweating, heavy and fast breathing, which is kind of obvious. Hot flushes, I've had that. It's awful. You feel like you're going through an early menopause, and I know for a fact I am not. Dry mouth, shaking, hair loss, heartbeat, fast heartbeat. A lot of people can mistake an anxiety attack, a panic attack, for a heart attack. They actually feel like they're having a heart attack. I do know people who've had that, who have been admitted to hospital thinking they're having a heart attack when actually they're having a panic attack. So it can be confused between the two. So if you are in that situation, I'm not saying you're not having a heart attack, you know, God forbid, hope you're not. But it could be a panic attack. But even so, if you were worried, call a bloody ambulance. Do you know what I mean? Because you could well be having a heart attack. Who knows? Dizziness and fainting, and IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, which I suffer with. Sickness and all that kind of thing. Now, if you have ever felt like in that situation, then all those symptoms, all those recognised signs, you will know what I'm talking about. And I've said it before in past videos, I do think that talking makes the world a difference. If you're somebody who is quite introverted, who is not the best talker, who doesn't talk to anybody about anything negative, then I know this is a hard thing to do. But I can't tell you how much of a weight is lifted when you tell somebody you're having these feelings. It's just, it's very hard to do. As I say, if you are that kind of person who can't communicate that, then I know it's difficult, but I can't emphasize it enough. You have to speak to somebody. The other thing that it can be confused with as well is PTSD. Now, if you don't know what PTSD is, it's post-traumatic stress disorder. And I've had that as well. And if you know, or if you've been a watcher of my channel from the very start, you will know what I'm talking about. In my earlier videos, I explain the PTSD and I explain where it came from and whatnot. But if you have been a victim of a crime, if you've been to military combat, if you have been in a severe accident, if you've been held hostage, natural disasters, you know, people who are involved in these terrorist attacks recently, there are people that have come out and had, you know, PTSD, which can be a form as well, and you have the similar symptoms to a panic attack, to anxiety. I saw something recently where somebody was in the London bombing. They were in the train, on a train when the bomb went off. They, you know, had terrible injuries, etc., etc., and they could not go back to that spot. They could not get back on a train, and they could not go back to that spot. Now that to me is so understandable. Oh my God. I had a similar situation with my PTSD where I couldn't go back to a certain area of Manchester, and I suffered terrible, like, with anxiety and stuff like that. So if you have had or have been in any sort of situation where you have had PTSD, you will know that you avoid places, you avoid contact with people, your safe place is your home and you do not leave. But I know that the thing that I saw with this guy and the bombing, eventually he spent years. I mean, the London bombing, I think it was 2012. So we're talking now. I saw this last year, so 2012, roughly 2013 or whatever, to 2017, that's a long time. Suffering, not speaking to anyone. His marriage was suffering, his kids were suffering. Eventually, he came around to talking to a therapist. And my God, the relief. It all came out, he was in floods of tears, and you know what? Fair play to him, because I think sometimes it's worse for men, because there's still, even in 2018, there's still that stigma about men and crying, and I can't get over that. I just cannot believe we're in a modern day where men are seen as wimps if they cry and they communicate and all this stuff. So communication, I know I've harped on about this so much, but I'm not fixed. You know, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that it's going to solve everything. It doesn't, and it takes a long time. But the instant relief you get from that first conversation, you're almost 50% there. You've got a long way to go, but you're 50% there because you have opened up and you have sort of let the floodgates open, really. So no, I'm not fixed. I'm not fixed by any means, and you know, and I still go and see a therapist. But I think even in a way, talking to you guys and having the group that we've got on Instagram, and all that kind of thing, I do think it's a help. I know we're living in a very materialistic world, and part of my channel is materialistic, but as I say all the time, I keep it real, and there's more to life than just kicks, clothing, Supreme, all that stuff. There is real life stuff going on, and I believe 100% in talking to each other. I believe 100% in being nice to each other. You've also got that anxiety of confrontation. You know, when people are nasty online and people troll and people just cannot be nice. And it's so easy to be a keyboard warrior. So easy. You say to somebody what could be a flippant comment, but you could absolutely kill that person. Literally kill them with that sentence. And that is anxiety as well. That creates anxiety. You know, some kids nowadays, they do a lot of trolling. They do a lot of saying just flippant comments to people online. Oh, go and kill yourself. Just don't do it. Because if that person did, and I've heard of it, and it exists, people do exactly what their bully is saying, and they do kill themselves. Just think about it. Because I know a lot of young people watch my channel for the Supreme and all that, and I know this video will not get as many views as the other ones do, but I don't care. And you know why I don't care? Because I believe it's so important to get this message out there of communicating if you are having anxiety feelings, if you are being bullied. So it all leads into one another. If you're feeling anxious because some kid at school is bullying you, or somebody's bullying you online, you have to talk to somebody. You have to tell either your teacher, your mum and dad, a friend, or if you can't tell any of those people, then tell me. I have no problem speaking to any of you guys about anything. So tell me, if it feels better for you to tell somebody you don't directly know, tell me. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm happy to talk to any of you. Just be careful what you say to people is what I'm saying. Just think about it. What might be a flippant and throwaway comment to you might not be to somebody else. Just think about it. And you know what? Just be nice. Just be nice. Seems to be so much easier to be nasty than nice a lot of the time. Say something nice to somebody. You don't know what a compliment can do. A compliment to me, if somebody compliments me, and so I've had some lovely comments from you guys, it means the world, and it fills me with absolute joy to know that I'm doing something good. And that would be the same for your peer, for your friend, for anybody. So just be nice. That's all I'm saying. So that's anxiety. And if, as I say, if you have any feeling of what I have just said, please go and speak to somebody about it. If you're being bullied and you're feeling anxious about it, go and see somebody. Go and talk to somebody about it. Please do not keep it to yourself. That is basically in a nutshell. Do not keep it to yourself. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope that any of you watching this will act on it if you are suffering from any of that kind of thing I've just discussed. I will, guys, be back with another fashion vlog, most likely tomorrow. I hope you aren't too disappointed that it's not Supreme related, but yeah, this is what this channel's about, guys. So anyway, thank you very so much for watching. Please subscribe, please share, please like, be nice, and all about that. We'll see you on the next one. Keep it real, guys.